Here we go. Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching this webinar on Medicare Part B, C, Advantage plans, secondary and supplemental plans. There's no audio taping or videotaping allowed, and any unauthorized reproduction, dispensing, forwarding, or copying of this target coding presentation is illegal. The information in this presentation is for educational purposes. It's not intended to be legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. Target Coding is not a law firm. I've made every attempt to make certain the information in this presentation is 100% accurate. However, it's not guaranteed. Let me tell you a little bit about myself before we get started. My name is Dr. Marty Kotler. Many of you listening to this know who I am. Some of you may be listening to me for the first time. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Dr. Marty Kotler. I'm a chiropractor. I practiced for many years, 16 years, and about 12 years ago, I started a consulting company called Target Coding. We specialize in billing, coding, documentation, showing chiropractors how to maximize reimbursement, make sure they're following all the laws and rules and regulations in their state. I became a certified professional compliance officer many years ago. I'm a certified billing and coding specialist. I've written many books and training videos on chiropractic billing, coding, documentation, Medicare. Now, some people consider me the insurance guy. I don't consider myself the insurance guy. I consider myself the compliance guy. I just want to make sure you're billing and coding properly. You're not leaving any money on the table. You're maximizing reimbursement, whether it's getting paid by insurance or self-pay, cash-paying patients. I just want to make sure you're getting paid what you deserve. And I kind of consider myself unique because most chiropractors are not certified coders. Most certified coders are not chiropractors. So I can combine those two experiences that I have to give chiropractors information to help solidify their practice, put armor around it, protect them, and make sure they're maximizing reimbursement. I write articles to Chiropractic Economics, Dynamic Chiropractic, The American Chiropractor, most of the magazines and journals you see coming across your desk or on your iPad, I've written articles for, and I'm a guest speaker at many state association conventions nationwide. By the way, those of you listening to this presentation, if you're part of your state association that's looking for a speaker on coding and compliance and documentation and risk management and medical errors, those types of things, give us a call. Our calendar's pretty full already for the next year, but maybe we could work something out. I usually can get a sponsor. All right, so here we go. Here's an overview of the Medicare plans out there. There's Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D. Then there's Advantage plans, replacement plans, secondary plans, supplemental plans. Oh my goodness, this is so confusing. What is this? I'm going to try and figure it out for you and explain it to you. So when somebody turns 65 in our country, they automatically get Part A and Part B. Part A is hospital coverage. Part B is coverage for doctor services and other outpatient types of care. So someone turns 65. Now you can get Medicare Part A and Part B if you're not 65, but those are certain individual situations. But in general, someone turns 65 in our country, they automatically get Part A and Part B. Part C is Medicare Advantage plans, also known as replacement plans. So Part C, replacement plans, Advantage plans. This is something that someone can opt out of Part B and choose to go into Part C. Many people prefer not to be in traditional Medicare Part B, and they want to see doctors and go to hospitals, so they opt out of A and B and they go into Part C. Part D is prescription drug coverage. All right, so here we go. Here comes Mr. Thompson. Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith walks into your office and your front desk assistant may say, Mr. Smith, what insurance do you have? Mr. Smith says, I have Medicare. See, most people don't know that Medicare is not an insurance company. Medicare is not an insurance company. Medicare is a federally funded program. The insurance company is, let's say you are in New Jersey. The local Medicare insurance company is Novitas. If you're in California, it's Noridian. If you're in New York, it's National Government Services. If you're in Minnesota, it's National Government Services. So there's a local Medicare carrier. So here comes Mr. Smith, and your assistant says, what insurance do you have? The patient says, I have Medicare. Okay, Mr. Smith, could we see your card? And then the patient takes out that red, white, and blue card. You see it on your screen? That's traditional Medicare Part B. So right off the bat, you know this is Medicare Part B. Next patient, Mrs. Jones comes in. You go, Mrs. Jones, what insurance do you have? Mrs. Jones says, I have Medicare. She doesn't know exactly what she has. And then she takes out of her pocket, you see the Advantage plan in the middle of the screen, that United Healthcare or the Blue Cross Blue Shield. Those are Medicare Advantage plan cards. So this patient opted out. Sometimes the patients don't even realize they have opted out of A and B, and now they have Part C, which has different rules, different regulations. So back to Mr. Smith, he comes in and shows you his red, white, and blue card. When you are seeing those types of patients, Medicare only covers spinal manipulation. Part B only covers spinal manipulation. So if you do an exam on Mr. Smith, he should be paying out of pocket. He should be paying out of pocket your normal cash fee. Don't give it away for free. Now, Mr. Smith might say, oh, wait, the exam, there's a charge for the exam. Yes, Mr. Smith, your Medicare plan does not cover chiropractors for examinations. And Mr. Smith goes, well, wait a second, my wife works. She works for the post office. She's a teacher, and they have insurance. She has insurance through her job. It's Aetna. So there you go. You see in the bottom right corner, now Aetna might pick up the exam. Next, Mr. Smith goes, well, okay, I'll pay for the exam. Do I have to pay for the manipulation? Well, Medicare Part B will pay 80% of the allowed amount. And then Mr. Smith goes, well, I also have AARP. Okay, still have to pay for the exam, but AARP will pick up the 20% that Medicare doesn't pay. So that's a quick review of the different types of Medicare plans. Now, let me go through some of the key points in Medicare Part B. So chiropractic is covered under Medicare Part B. However, it's limited to spinal manipulation. You could use an activator. You could use a handheld device. That's fine. Medicare Part B only covers 98940, 41, and 42. Those are the spinal manipulation codes. Medicare requires examinations to be performed, but they're not paid by Medicare. So Medicare Part B does not cover x-rays, exams, modalities, therapeutic procedures, extremity adjustments. These are all considered non-payable by Medicare Part B plans. So you should be collecting payment directly for these non-payable services. I don't recommend you give anything away for free. That's a misnomer I often hear by doctors and staff members. They say, well, Medicare doesn't pay for exams, so we don't charge our Medicare patients for exams. We charge our PI patients for exams, but not our Medicare patients. That's not okay. Well, when Medicare patients come in, we do, we do therapies, but we don't charge them, or we only charge them like $5 or $10 because they can't afford it. All these things I hear. I don't recommend you do things like that. I don't recommend you give away free things. Yeah, look at this. This is a chiropractor. He had to pay nearly $80,000 fine because he was giving free electrical stim to his Medicare patients. It says he's agreed to pay $79,919 to resolve allegations he violated the False Claims Act by billing Medicare for chiropractic adjustments after providing free electrical stim to patients to influence those patients to receive chiropractic adjustments. So, not a fan of giving away things for free. So now that I explained quickly Part A, Part B, C, D, and the replacement and secondary plans, I have a question for you, little Q&A. Can you treat Medicare Part B patients without submitting claims to Medicare? The answer is no. Can you treat Medicare Part B patients without being enrolled in the Medicare program? The answer is no. Can chiropractors opt out of Medicare Part B? No. Can you collect cash from Medicare Part B patients without billing Medicare? The answer is maybe. Once the patient gets to wellness, patient signs the ABN form and they check no in the option box, then yeah, now you have a Medicare patient comes in, they lie down, you give them a great adjustment, they pay you cash, and there's no billing. Isn't that the ideal situation? I think it is. So chiropractors cannot opt out of Part B. Now, when I mention that, this is, during my live seminars, we'll probably have some questions on it too. I get a lot of pushback, a lot of like, what, Dr. Kotler, wait a second. I'm not in Medicare. I don't bill Medicare. I just have patients come in, they pay me cash. You're saying I can't do that? Yeah, I'm saying you can't do that for Medicare Part B. You're not allowed to see them unless you're enrolled, formally enrolled, and you are billing Medicare for spinal manipulation. This isn't something I made up. This is the law. This is a rule. Um, yeah, I mean, and this is why here on the screen, there's a lot of confusion, not on my part. There's a lot of confusion on doctors and staff members. Some doctors go, wait a second, I can't treat a Medicare patient without billing Medicare, and I have to, be in. Yeah, yeah. What? Yeah, I know. I mean, look at it this way. Like my nephew, he's graduating chiropractic college in a few months. He's already asking me, Uncle Marty, um, I want to see Medicare patients. I said, okay, well, if you want to see Medicare Part B patients, you have to fill out a form. It's called the 855 form. It's a formal form where Medicare asks you questions. You fill it out, you send it in, and then you are formally enrolled. And now he will be able to see Medicare Part B patients. He could see Part C patients without being enrolled, but not Part B. So that's why there's a lot of confusion, a lot of, you know, people get frustrated when they hear this. They don't know what to do. So do your research. If you're hearing this for the first time, check into it. Right there, I'm giving you the source. The Medicare Benefit Policy Manual, Chapter 15, Section 40.4 talks about chiropractors cannot opt out of Part B. Chiropractors that are not enrolled in the Medicare program, you're not even allowed to use the ABN form. So again, because there's a lot of confusion regarding this, I like to clarify it as much as possible. In the bottom right corner, this is right from Medicare. It says doctors of chiropractic may not opt out of Medicare, noting that opting out and being non-par are not the same things. Chiropractors may decide to be par or non-par with Medicare, but they may not opt out. So let's summarize this and then we'll move on to another topic. So stop treating Medicare patients if you're not submitting claims to Medicare Part B. Stop treating patients who are not enrolled in Medicare. Do not tell patients, just come in, pay me cash. We're not in Medicare. Can't do that. Don't confuse non-par with opt-out. If you want to treat Medicare patients, you have to submit the claims to Medicare Part B. If you don't want to do that, it's okay. Just refer the patient out to another doctor that's enrolled in Medicare. So now when it comes to collecting cash from Medicare and all patients, is it wellness care? Is it medically necessary care? That's the big question. Some doctors that treat patients that want to get cash out of them as soon as possible, they try and transition the patient to wellness care as soon as possible. But sometimes the patient's not ready. Like I was talking to one doctor, he's in network with a plan. He wants to transfer the patient to wellness and have them pay cash. So this is, he's telling patients, okay, you're covered for 5 visits. After 5 visits, Mrs. Jones, you're going to get switched to wellness maintenance. What happens if Mrs. Jones on the 6th visit is still having screaming sciatica and throbbing pain and can't even get out of bed? How can you switch a patient to wellness or maintenance care if they don't qualify for it? You can't just force them into it because you don't want to bill the insurance anymore. So Medicare doesn't cover maintenance therapy. It's that you would think they would, right? This is, according to Medicare, maintenance therapy is not covered. It's not payable. And this is it's interesting, their definition. You would think they would cover it. It says maintenance therapy includes services that seek to prevent disease, promote health, and prolong and enhance the quality of life, or to prevent deterioration of a chronic condition. I think they would want to pay for that, but they don't. So once a Medicare patient reaches maintenance, or any patient reaches maintenance, no more insurance. Now, for Medicare purposes, do not use the wellness code. You see it on your screen, S8990. It doesn't work. I've had many doctors try it. It doesn't work for Medicare. It will come back, patient may not be billed, provider liability. So if you're going to bill Medicare for a wellness visit, I'll show you in a few minutes how to do it, but you're going to use the ABN form. and get that signed properly. And if the patient checks option 1, then you're going to bill the 98940 for 1 or for 2 with a different modifier. I'll show you that in a minute. So medical necessity. You know, it's interesting. A patient can call their insurance right before they come in. You know, let's say the patient wants to come in and see me. You know what? Before I go see Dr. Kotler or the chiropractor, I want to call my insurance company and find out if I'm covered. So now a patient is going to call their insurance company and say, hi, I'm going to a chiropractor. Does my plan have benefits for chiropractic care? Do you know what they're going to hear? They're going to hear yes. Because of the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, whether you like it or not, chiropractic became mandated to be covered in every insurance plan. So the patient is going to hear yes, as long as it's medically necessary, right? That's what they're going to hear. You're covered. They may hear you're covered for 30 visits as long as it's medically necessary. So now what does the patient think? I'm covered for 30 visits. They don't know what that means. You're covered for 30 visits as long as it's medically necessary. Let's break that down a little bit. It's up to 30 visits. So let's say after 20 visits, the patient has reached maximum therapeutic benefit. The patient is back at the gym, riding their bike, going playing tennis, doing their normal activities, very little pain after 20 visits. That's it. There's no more insurance billing. So you could tell the patient, yes, Mrs. Jones, you're covered for up to 30 visits, but you've reached maximum improvement after 20, so we're going to stop billing your insurance because according to your plan, it's not covered anymore. And you'll have 10 visits saved for a rainy day, so to speak. So medically necessary means insurance payable. Next, Medicare active treatment, medically necessary, that's payable with the AT modifier for your Medicare patients. So what's medical necessity? You want to keep it simple? Tell patients, Mr. Thompson, medical necessity is when you come in, you have pain, you have restricted motion, and you have decreased ability to do your normal activities of daily living. That's going to be insurance payable. But here's the good news, Mr. Thompson. After about X number of visits, I don't know, you fill in the blank, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, I don't know, you're going to feel great. Guess what? You're going to get to the point where you have very little pain. Your range of motion is pretty good. You could do all your activities of daily living. Then it becomes non-insurance payable. So how long is that going to take you and your practice to get the patient to wellness care? Again, I have some clients that they get them to wellness care in 6 visits. Some take 56 visits, so that's up to the patient. It's up to the doctor, how the documentation is. It's up to the diagnosis codes. So I can come into there's a lot of people listening to this webinar. I can come to your office. You want me to come to your office? Come invite me to your office. I will go into every room with you and I will categorize every single man, woman, and child that you treat into one of these 2 categories. Category 1 is active care. That means the patient has, there's the picture, pain, discomfort, decreased ability to do normal activities of daily living. That's category 1, active care. That's something that's paid by insurance or the patient pays cash. Or there's another category. There's only 2 categories. The next category is patient reaches maintenance wellness. No insurance, that's cash. So now, do you want to get more visits out of the insurance company? That's a question we get here a lot here at Target Coding. How do I get paid more? I ask for visits and they don't pay me. I send in my notes. They're saying it's not medically necessary. I can't get paid, Dr. Kotler. I don't understand why. Well, it could be because you're using short-term care diagnosis codes like plain old neck pain and spasm and lumbar strain. These are diagnosis codes that are considered short-term, 6 visits. The insurance companies look at these like, you know what, the patient could go home and take Advil. What do they need to go to a chiropractor for 20 visits? So there's short-term. And then we have long-term care diagnosis codes like radiculopathy. Here we go, M5412. That's really common, right? M5412. Cervical radiculopathy. Very commonly billed code. How about M5416, lumbar radiculopathy? So, I mean, just think about this. If the patient has muscle spasm and lumbar radiculopathy, and you had to submit one code to the insurance company, which one would you submit? Right, the long-term code. Why not? So there's a long-term diagnosis code, sciatica. We have sciatica on the right side, left side, sciatica with low back pain, right side, left side. Get very specific. Disc degeneration, so again, you want to get more visits out of the insurance company. These are the codes that you should be reporting. I was working with one doctor. He's submitting short-term diagnosis codes, but he took x-rays and he found disc degeneration. I said, Doc, why don't you report that code? He didn't think he should. Well, now he is, and he's getting paid more visits. So, disc disorders, disc displacements, right? So now you need MRIs now, in my opinion, need MRIs or CT scans for these codes because disc disorders with radiculopathy, that means there's some sort of herniation or bulge with nerve root compression. Disc displacement without myelopathy, without radiculopathy, that's also pretty common, but not as bad as a disc disorder. So these are even sprain codes. Sprain relates to ligaments. Ligaments take longer to heal. So, that's why whiplash type injuries, they could take months, even years to fix. Lumbar sprain, I figured I'd show you the most common ligaments in the lumbar spine. And your notes would have to say, exam reveals evidence of sprained lumbar ligaments, so you want to lead up to it. Sacroiliac sprain. How about complicating factors? I think these are important to report. I mean, just look at it this way. Here comes patient number one, low back pain. That's it, just low back pain. Patient number two has low back pain, is overweight, is taking medication for anxiety, and has diabetes. Patient number two is going to need more visits. Oh, so this is a page out of my book. I don't know how many of you have my book, but I have a book of quick guides and show you the good headache codes and the sacroiliac joint codes, and there's cheat sheets, show you the codes that pay the most visits and how to combine your codes. I always talk about, code combining, like food and wine combining. You should be combining your procedure codes and diagnosis codes. So show you how to do that. Yeah, there's my book. It's called The Best ICD-10 and CPT Codes to Improve Reimbursement. All right, so back to wellness care. So wellness care, maintenance care, that's not covered by insurance. At maximum therapeutic benefit, you transition the patient to wellness. There's no more insurance. And this is the visit. Here's the ABN form. So, Mrs. Jones, good news and bad news. The good news, you've reached wellness. The bad news is Medicare doesn't cover wellness maintenance. And this is the analogy I like to use. Mrs. Jones, if you're driving your car and your transmission falls out, Medicare will pay for a new transmission. But, if you're driving your car and you just need an oil change or a tune-up, Medicare won't pay for that. So, Mrs. Smith, you are in the oil change stage of care. If the patient says, okay, I'll come in and pay cash, then just have them fill out this form. Make sure they check an option box. Option one says, I want the chiropractic maintenance care. I understand Medicare may not pay. I understand I have to pay you cash. I know exactly how much to pay you, but I also want you to bill Medicare. All right, I don't love that one. So you'll bill your 98940, 41, or 42 with the GA modifier. Here we go, GA, G in green, A is in apple, GA modifier. Now, if the patient checks option two, it says, I want the maintenance care, but don't bill Medicare. I like that so much better. Now, if you're a PAR provider or non-PAR accepting assignment, you use this form. If you're a non-PAR provider, not accepting assignment, you got to change the ABN form a little bit. Option one, the last line you have to cross out. And in the additional information, you need to add the following. This provider does not accept assignment from Medicare. I am responsible for paying this provider's charge for the item provided. If Medicare does pay, I don't know how they would pay, but if they make a mistake, the Medicare will pay me the approved amount for the item listed above, and payment may be less than the provider's charge. So make sure you're using ABNs. Are they required on every visit? No. However, I like using them, especially if the patient's coming in once a month. I like using it on every visit, but they're good for a year. If you don't use the AT modifier for active care, it won't get paid. Now, here's something. Many doctors will adjust full spine. I have if a patient came into my office and said, Doc, I have neck pain. That's it. My lower back feels great. I'm checking their lower back. I'm checking their thoracics. When I was using activator technique, I was checking their ankle. The patient's complaining of headaches. I'm checking their ankles, their knees, so I could do a full spine adjustment, but I'm not going to bill an insurance company because it's not medically necessary in all regions. So I may adjust full spine, but I only may bill 98940. So that has to be described in your compliance manual, your billing and coding compliance manual. Otherwise, it could look like you're down coding. So just remember, don't get caught in the middle. Is it active care? Is it maintenance care? A lot of doctors get caught in the middle and they end up getting in trouble. What do I mean? They're billing the insurance for maintenance care and getting paid. They're billing it as if it's active care, but the notes look like it's maintenance care, getting paid, and that's causing the problem. Don't get caught in the middle. A little bit about par and non-par, accepting assignment, not assignment, fee schedules. So let's say you're a par provider. Don't use these fees. You're a par provider. Let's say your regular fee is $35 for a 98940. So, assuming the deductible's been met, you're going to bill Medicare 35. They're going to pay you 80% of the par fee, which is $25.60. The patient pays you $640, which is 20% of the par fee. You have to write off the difference. Next most common is non-par, not accepting assignment. So this is a chiropractor that's enrolled in Medicare, is billing Medicare, but wants the patient to pay upfront for the chiropractic adjustment and let the check go to the patient. So as a non-par provider, the patient will pay you the limiting charge. You can't take your regular fee, limiting charge. You're going to bill Medicare the limiting charge, and Medicare will reimburse the patient 80% of the non-par fee. This is the least desirable, in my opinion, non-par and accepting assignment. Okay, you bill 30, Medicare is going to allow 24. They're going to send you a check for 24, and the patient pays $6. So policies and procedures are really important. You should have a good billing and coding policy manual. For example, your staff, a patient, an insurance company, a state board, they might want to know, what's your policy on collecting deductibles, copays, and coinsurance? I have a question. Is it okay to waive copays and deductibles? The answer is yes, once in a while. What did I say? Yes, but sparingly and rare. I gave a few patients free care. I had patients sign forms that they can't afford it, but it was done sparingly and rarely. The doctors that get in trouble do it routinely. I'm working with a doctor right now. He gets paid very well from insurance. He has some of these plans where he gets paid 80% everything he does. He tells patients, don't worry, don't pay me anything. I'll accept insurance as payment in full. And now we just got a letter from the insurance company. They want to see copies of statements and proof that patients have been paying. Oh boy, we got a problem. What's your policy on discounting? So you bill insurance companies $200 a visit, and now your cash patients are coming in and they're paying $30? Really? Is that okay to have that much of a reduction? What's your policy on discounting patients? What's your policy on free exam? You want to offer a free exam? You want to offer a gift? Like some of I surprised one of my clients recently. I walk into his office and I see a mountain bike hanging from his waiting room, and has a contest going. I go, Doc, what's with the bike? He's like, yeah, you see that bike? It's a $1,200 bike. We're giving it away to the patient that refers the most new patients. Okay. Uh, I hope a Medicare patient doesn't win this contest because Medicare only allows a $15 gift. That bike is a $1,200 gift. I don't know if that's okay. So what's your policy on free exams? What's your policy on the Stark and anti-kickback laws? You should have just a blurb in your policy that everybody understands what these two laws are and they know not to violate them. What's your policy on billing a 98940 when you adjust full spine? I kind of mentioned that already. So we're going to get to questions and answers. Um, we are just about done. Let's just see. Yes, what I would like to do right now is introduce you. We have a target coding affiliate that I'd like to introduce you to right now before we get to questions and answers. I've known this doctor for many years. We have some mutual clients. Um, Probably about 5 years. We've been referring clients back and forth to each other. And I'd like to bring him on right now. His name is Dr. Tori Robeson. He's a chiropractor and a success consultant. He's run multiple successful chiropractic clinics. He's the founder of the Winner's Edge Consulting Company. He's published hundreds of videos and CDs and books, all on the elements of chiropractic practice success. So I'd like to bring him on right now before we get to questions and answers so he could introduce himself. Dr. Robeson, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me all right, everybody?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can I share my
Welcome.
webcam too?
I am going to I'm going to bring up your slides on my end,
Oh,
and then
great.
you, yeah, I know you sent them to me, but
Of
you
course.
could start chatting, and then I will bring them up, and then
Okay.
just tell me if you want to
Uh,
move the slides forward or backwards.
okay, so when I say click, you'll just move it forward.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to move fast here. I've been given 10 minutes, and for me, that's difficult because I'll do training 6 hours up to maybe a 30-hour boot camp. So I'm going to try to pack a lot and do a very short period of time. So yes, I'm Tori Robeson, chiropractor, chiropractic practice success consultant. I'm still in a practice right now. In fact, I'm in the command center for my office right now. And so I get known for a lot of things. All right, go ahead and click.
Okay. There we go.
Of course, we've got your typical seminars in the hotel and all those fun things that you see that happen out there in chiropractic. Click. And even more fun, we've got these cool trainings we do in my training center here. I got a training center for chiropractors here in my office in Minneapolis. Okay, click.
Dr. Robeson, look how nicely your attendees are dressed. I'm just noticing. Wow, look.
Yes, we're the high road in the world of chiropractic success. As a percentage of people, there's no group that has more successful people than we do because my training and I personally see to it that that's the case. And notice who's on the board there, arguably the richest chiropractor in the world that we have share with us during our high level boot camps. Anyway, okay, next.
Yep, that's John, right? John
Yeah,
DiMartini? Yep.
yes.
Oh
And
boy,
then
now we're working out.
we also have some unique events where we have the most physically and mentally demanding events in chiropractic today. Those are, of course, the Winner's Edge DC boot camps, because my office is actually an 11,000 square foot fitness and martial arts training center with my clinic in it. So we have a place to train chiropractors that nobody's ever seen before. So it really is quite awesome. Physical training is mental training, so we incorporate that into some of our boot camps. All right, click. But I'm kind of most famous for this. That's raising and rescuing Dobermans. I get known as the guy with the Dobermans. And there's one of my little guys there at my desk at my office. All right, click. We're three people though. Let's get into it now. You're a promoter and a marketer of chiropractic #1. That's what you really are. You may not realize that's the case when you graduated, but that's it. #1, you are a promoter of chiropractic services. That's what you really are. When you wake up every day, that is your #1 thing. You're a promoter of chiropractic, of yourself and of your office. Now, if you're any good at that, you will get people to come in so that you can then be a doctor. And I will say in 25 years, that is the best Medicare training I have ever heard. I want every one of my clients to get it. It is all the critical information jammed into a sub 30-minute training. I can't thank Dr. Calder enough. I can't wait to get my hands on it in one way or another, or get my clients to him so they can learn what we learned this morning. It was unbelievably perfect. Anyway, so that's a component of being an incredible doctor in your office. All the hiring, the training, the patient care, the clinical excellence, all of that. Now, if you're any good at that, then you're going to get paid, especially if you follow what Dr. Kotler teaches. And the second you get paid, you're a business person. You're a businessman or you're a businesswoman. Which one of these three do you think destroys more chiropractors? Which one of these three do you think chiropractors wish they were better at when they're 70 years old? Let's take a look at that. Click. Well, here we are trying to get stuff done, and there he is getting in the way again. By the way, that book is Modernized Chiropractic, one of the very first chiropractic textbook. authored by Solon Langworthy, who helped coin the term subluxation, and the great Minora Paxson, female chiropractor, who co-authored the first clinical chiropractic textbook. There it is right there. But it's hard to read when you got a Doberman that wants to go outside and play. Okay, click. All right, so the keys to massive success here, I got to get very, very compact here. One, do what Dr. Kotler says. When he's talking about using the proper codes and the fee structure and making sure you have the ABN working properly, and the way your wellness plans are set up, and when you would employ those, and how the payment arrangements are made, and making sure that you're collecting for co-pays and co-insurance, okay, along the course of the patient's care. I mean, these are critical to the integrity of your office and your overall collections and overall success. So if you do what he says and you do what I say, I will promise you, you will be more successful. Every single chiropractor that's listening to this, I can make you more successful and have 2020 probably be the best year you ever had in your life. It's ridiculously easy for me to do that at this point with any chiropractor who has any work ethic or who has any inner drive to win. Some DCs don't have any inner drive to win. Can't do anything for people that don't want to win. But if you want to win, well, that's what we're here to do. All right, next. All right, so seriously now, here's the takeaway lesson I want to share with you. If you want to be more successful as a chiropractor, as a human being, here it is. We must auto give money every month automatically from the business. Auto give. It's in your bill pay. You're auto giving money every month. It's set up. It's automated. It's a system. Monthly from the business. That's number one. The hole you give through is the hole you receive through. Number two, we recommend the chiropractor. This is one of our many secrets to success. You get paid every week, every week, every week. Automatic paycheck every week, and then a draw every month as a monthly bonus. You need to get paid every week, and there's 100 reasons for this we don't have time to explain. Then that is going to trigger our taxes to be automatically auto paid. You don't send checks, it's automatically taken out and sent in, state and federal, every week. We pay our taxes automatically weekly, not monthly, not quarterly. Okay, that's not what winners do. Winners pay their taxes automatically every week. Many reasons for this. Okay, next is we're going to auto save every week. See, we're going to quadruple the speed of the flow of money. People are doing stuff monthly. Here at Winner's Edge, we're going to quadruple the speed and do it weekly. Money loves velocity and speed. So we want to increase the speed of your money flow 4 times. That causes a suction, which brings more people and more income to you because your money handling is so good. Most chiropractors, their money handling is destroying their future. It's completely constipated. They have no idea what they're doing. They never have a chance of growing, and yet they're worried about more marketing and more new patients, but they can't handle the money anyway. They think they can, but they're on the peak of Mount Stupid, according to the Dunning-Kruger effect, and they'll never have a chance of growing until this gets fixed. Next, of course, is this. We will then auto save every week. Our savings is automated every single week. It's critical. We have a saying here, it's called small amounts weekly. Small amounts weekly is what will make a chiropractor wealthy. Not 5 or 10 chiropractors out of 100 ever end up wealthy. Not 5 or 10, certainly not 10, but about 5 out of 100 will get there. Another five will be doing okay, but everybody else is going to take 40 years of their life and end up with dirt. Okay, because they weren't paying attention, they didn't hire the right consultants, they were cheap, lazy, weak, or just plain foolish. Okay, so we're going to auto save every week. Now, the goal we're going to have here, and I learned this many years ago from a consultant who's not with us anymore in chiropractic, and that is to save your age. We call a chiropractor successful when their student loans are paid, number one, and number two, they're saving their age. 40-year-old person's got to save $40,000 a year, roughly $700 a week after tax. Then, of course, we have our debt auto taken care of. We have a whole rapid fire debt elimination system. Our typical chiropractor pay off $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 of debt per year. This is why our chiropractors pay off their student loans in record time, because we have a pretty unbelievable system for debt elimination. But the auto debt is also set up weekly, and we have a whole debt elimination system. All right, and then of course we have to increase our earning via incredible coaching, seminars, training. You hire experts like Dr. Kotler. Dr. Kotler, can you even imagine the messes and what's happening in chiropractic offices without your information? Every single chiropractor in the United States today should have heard what you just taught. Here I am, 24, 25 years in, okay? Thousands and thousands of new patients, Medicare, billing millions of dollars. And that was as fresh to me right now as it would have been the day I opened up my practice. And I can't thank you enough. We're so lucky to have someone like you, because I'll tell you, many countries and many places don't have people like you. that are so necessary for the success of these core things in your office, because there's only a few things that can get you in big trouble. You get in big trouble with the IRS, you can get in big trouble with your state board, and you get in big trouble with insurance companies. And Dr. Kotler is the person we can go to make sure we're on point as much as possible for those things. And then, of course, we want to stay in physical shape. And we have a kind of a system and things we recommend for that. Because number one, you got to take care of your health and fitness. Number two, you got to make sure your practice is in order. So then number three, you can be wonderful for your family and for everybody that you're responsible with and for. And because you're no good at number three if your health and your financial house are not in order. So those are the main things I wanted to share there, but we got to get everything going. Giving monthly, you get paid every week automatically. It triggers the taxes weekly. You save automatically weekly. Your debt elimination plan is in place. Therefore, your net worth grows automatically every month, and all you have to do then basically is stay alive, and you'll end up in great shape. You cannot retire on patient visits. You have to have the ability to think ahead. Very few people end up with any money, and that's going to be you unless you pay attention and you have someone like me around to help show you how to get there successfully. All right, next slide, click. All right, and this is the most popular book in chiropractic today. About 7,000 have gone out this year. It's possibly the most popular book in chiropractic in the last century. And this is one of my latest books. We give this out to free, the PDF or even the hard copy. There it is, the Ultimate Chiropractic Success Guide. It is something. We've given out, oh, I don't know, 5,000 this year and another couple thousand when the thing first came out. This is really something right here. All right, next one, click. And this is part of a multi-book set. The first one, the Success Guide, then of course, Money, Chiropractic, and You. This was the hottest one until the Ultimate book came out. Then I just completed what's called The Science of Getting Rich. That book was originally written by Wallace Wattles in 1910. It is the first book that at least we're aware of, that started the whole success type of books. It led to The Magic of Believing. It led to Think and Grow Rich. It led to The Laws of Success in 16 Lessons. It led to The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. It led to ultimately to the movie The Secret. That is the core book, and I've taken that book, it's in the public domain, redid it, and made it customized for the chiropractic professional. Everybody loves it. So there's our current 3-book set. All right, click next. But the main one you want to get your hands on first is this. All right, I wouldn't get too concerned with the other ones. I would start with this. So go ahead and click. So I'll be happy to send that to anybody who wants it. We'll send you the PDF immediately. We'll send you the regular one if you want. And if you want the other 2 books, we'll be happy to send those also. We have stacks of them. We give these to the entire chiropractic profession for free. Chiropractic has been a great thing for me, and I feel that, and I appreciate that. And so I want to contribute to the success of chiropractors, whether anybody is a client of mine or not. So I'll send my books out to any chiropractor who wants them. Free, we'll pay for the shipping. We just want you to become more successful. We know that we'll be rewarded in return one way or another. So there's my email, drtorychiro@gmail.com. Just send me a thing and just says send them. Okay, we'll have your email, obviously. We'll send you the PDF. And if you want a regular one, just let us know. I'll be happy to send you one of those also. So DRTORY Chiro, drtorychiro@gmail.com. I'm extremely easy to find. If you Google me, I'll be all over the place. But there's my direct personal email, and I'm happy to help you in any way that I can as a friend of Dr. Kotler's. Okay, click next. Because ultimately what it boils down to is having the things that matter to you in life, okay? And I've had the big twin-engine offshore race boats, the Lamborghinis, the Maseratis. I've had all of that stuff. Whatever you think is cool, I've had it, okay? And I'm telling you right now, none of those are as fun as having a dog lick your face or holding hands with somebody you care about, okay? Or learning something new. The greatest things in life are basically free. All that cost me is some dog food and some leashes and, ripped up curtains and everything else, because these are high performance super athletes, okay? Not normal people can't own a Doberman, all right? But I'm telling you, to just have that lick my face, I got rid of the truck, got rid of the boat, sold the Lamborghini, and I go and I play catch with the dogs, and I'm as happy as a bird. What's the point? Be happy with conservative things, save money, get the debt taken care of. We'll be happy to help you with all of this. It sounds like I'm a money guy, but really, It's everything that has to do with operating a chiropractic practice. I got 10 sets of floor plans on my desk right now for offices I'm designing, all the way to everything inside the office. But we got to make sure you end up with some money, because ultimately that's the thing that's going to be valuable for you and reduce a lot of stress in your life. There, I talked as fast as I could. I'd like to go on, but I want to make sure I'm on time. So that's what I had for you, Dr. Kotler, unless you had any particular questions for me.
Excellent, Dr. Robeson. So let's go to questions and answers. Maybe some questions came in for you. I don't know. Let's
Fine.
take a look. But thank you for
Lay
that
it on me.
presentation.
I want the hardest questions about the hardest things in practice.
Okay. Let me bring my stuff back up here, and we'll get going with questions and answers. Let's see what came in. First question. If a patient has Part C and the company says they follow Medicare guidelines, okay, I'm trying to read this. If the patient has Part C and the company says they follow Medicare guidelines, do we, oh, wow. It's hard to read. If a patient, do we interpret that the same as traditional Medicare? Yes, that's a good question. I was mentioning Medicare Part B. Obviously, that's very limited. That's spinal manipulation only. Part C, I have some clients that are doing very well with Medicare Part C plans. Medicare Part C plans, like I said, some of them mirror regular Medicare, but some pay for exams and x-rays and therapies and orthotics and diagnostic testing. I have some clients in Illinois and the Midwest that are doing very well with Medicare Part C plans. So, yeah. Next question. Can you show the first short-term? Oh, okay. Somebody wants to see the diagnosis codes. I'll bring that back up. These were the short-term diagnosis codes. Okay, let's take a look and see what the next question is. The ABN is required for Part B. I understand Part C requires a separate notice of non-coverage. Can you discuss this? Yeah, if the Medicare Part C plan doesn't require an ABN, now, if they, some of these Part C plans, you call them, you can't speak to anybody, you can't get a straight answer, they can't tell you what's covered, what's not covered. So you have to go with your best gut instincts, assuming they're compliant. So yeah, I would use an ABN form if the Medicare Part C plan can't give you any answers. Let's go to the next question. Okay, doctor says, okay, you're welcome, you're welcome. A lot of people saying thank you, thank you. Next, if a patient has Part C or traditional secondary insurance, what modifier is used for acupuncture? Acupuncture, well, Medicare Part B does not pay for acupuncture. Medicare Part C, yes, Medicare Part C, some plans will pay for acupuncture. The acupuncture codes are 978, wait, I don't want to get into specific codes right now, but the acupuncture codes are not typically required to have modifiers. So I'm not sure what that was referring to. I have been told by United Healthcare, Medicare, that the patient is not responsible to pay for the therapies if we are in network. Okay, so if this is a Medicare Advantage plan by United Healthcare, you could look at it like regular insurance, Medicare Part C Advantage plans. So if this particular plan, let's say you're in network with regular United Healthcare, and now here comes a patient with United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan, you may be in network with that plan too, and you didn't even know it. There are these silent PPOs and HMOs. You join one, and then you didn't realize that when you signed that contract, you got put into more plans. That's possible. And for most providers, they're okay with it, but that could be the case. You have a patient come in with a Part C, and you didn't think you had to follow any special rules or anything, yeah, you might have to. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hi, Sandy. Yes, I'll see you next week. A lot of people saying thank you, thank you. Medicare, Medicare. Shh, no, I'm trying to read these. Medicare Part C for maintenance care. GA modifier, maintenance care. Yeah, we touched on that. Maintenance care for Medicare Part B. Patient signs ABN form. If the patient checks option 1, then you have to bill with the GA modifier. Do not use S8990. Now with Medicare Part C, again, that's like regular insurance. They may be okay with the S8990 code. That's a good one. Maybe I'll ask some of my clients to do that for me. Maybe I'll check that out. Next, if for Part C, if a provider is out of network for that company, is the provider required to take the same write-offs, denials required with Part B? No. If you are out of network with the Part C plan, just charge your normal full cash fees and let the patient get the check. Next. Hi, Mark. Yes, a lot of people saying thank you, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I think that might have been the last question. I covered everything else. So just want to, before we go, let me just tell everyone, oh, some more questions are coming in now. All right, but let me just tell everyone a little bit about what we do here at Target Coding. Besides these webinars, we offer products and services, and we have on-site trainings and one-on-one consulting, and we install HIPAA. It sounds like like a plumber installing a toilet. We install Medicare compliance programs. We install HIPAA compliance programs. We have memberships, CE courses. We have a compliance program, chiropractic compliance program, in our opinion, should entail 3 things. The big 3, I call them: HIPAA, OIG, and OSHA. So yeah, a little fun here. Do you get HIPAA headaches, OIG procrastination, OSHA indigestion? Well, if you don't have a chiropractic compliance program because it's just something that could seem a little bit daunting or you don't have the time, then let us do it for you. We'll do all the heavy lifting. It's only $199 a month. You could be done in 3 or 4 months. We just like stretch it out over 1 year. If you want to prepay, you can be done in probably 3 months. But it's only $199. It's a limited time offer, and we will take care of everything for you. We will do all the training. We'll create your policies and procedures. We'll explain them to you so you're just not leaving a book of policies on the shelf. We'll show you what you need to do. We give you a calendar, like once a year, these are the things you need to do, or once every 6 months. We'll show you how to do an internal review of your notes. There's the book. Oh, yeah, I was talking about pairing your codes, like a food and wine festival. You pair food and wine. There's sommeliers. These are food and wine experts that show you how to pair food and wine, red meat with, with red wine, those combinations. Well, I combine CPT codes and diagnosis codes. So a patient comes in with cervical radiculopathy, that pairs beautiful with mechanical traction. See, it's a good idea to pair. This is in my book. Yeah, I consider myself a coding sommelier versus a wine master. Show you how to pair your codes. Also, we have a CA boot camp. This has been going so well. We have broke them down into 4 modules, 2 parts each module, so it's a total of 8 classes, and we cover any type of CA. I mean, I feel like we've covered any. You have a front desk and patient relations CA, we have a whole module on that. Oh, you have a CA that's in charge of your billing and collections, got a module on that. Oh, your CAs are in the back office with you, helping you with your therapies and your rehab and doing the notes. We have many of our clients where the CAs are doing the notes. That's module 3. We show you at the CAs how to take notes, and we go through anatomy. And then module 4 is showing your office manager how to be able to supervise a large staff when it comes to compliance and management. So we have our CA boot camp. We now do billing. Target Coding now does billing, so you could outsource your billing to us. Call us for a consultation on that. We also have forms. Over the last 12 years, I think I've created about 200 forms. What I've done is I've taken my 75 greatest hits and put them in a package. So we sell these forms. They're all in Microsoft Word. Even if you have the best chiropractic software, you got ChiroTouch, you got Eclipse, you got ACOP, doesn't matter. You still need forms. You still need letters of medical necessity. You still need ABN forms. We have a whole bunch of sample soap notes, financial policies, financial hardship forms, consent to treat minor, insurance verification forms. You know, patient needs a letter of medical necessity for a mattress or pillows. Those are all in there. And then we throw in acupuncture soap notes, physical therapy soap notes, all the HIPAA forms, and all your Medicare sample notes. Oh, some doctors go, Dr. Kotler, we just want you to take a look at our notes. So bring your notes in for a checkup. That's what I say. We'll review your notes. We have a what we call it, a comprehensive chart audit and fee schedule review. Send them in. We can probably find money you're leaving on the table. And how do we know that? It's like that farmer's insurance commercial. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two after 12 years. We usually find money the doctor's leaving on the table. A few doctors, we added one code and it equated to over $10,000 worth of extra income. So we can do that. We offer a lot of things. Look at this. We have been doing land seminars for the last 10 years, 12 years. Well, now we do seminars on cruise ships. We did one last year. Our second annual Target Coding Cruise seminar is coming up on the largest ship in the world, the Symphony of the Seas. We're going to have 10 CE credits. I'm going to be teaching on the ship. And then after I'm teaching, I'm going to the pool and hanging out and enjoying. And we're going to have a good time. We had a great time last year. We had about 50 cabins taken on the ship. This year, we're expecting even more to attend. And here's my list of videos. We sell videos. We also help doctors with American Specialty Health. This is a managed care plan that affects a lot of doctors. We'll show you how to either get more cash from your ASH patients, or we'll show you how to get more visits from ASH. Either way, we can help you with that. So I want to thank everybody for attending. Here's my contact information. If you have any simple, basic questions, set up a 15-minute consultation. Set up a free consultation. Dr. Robeson, are you there?
You bet.
I have a question came in for you.
Sure.
Is your consulting service seminar-based, web-based? Do we need to go to your location, and where are you located?
Well, I'm out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, which is a suburb of Minneapolis, and here's how it works here. If someone were to become a member of my group, we have on my website, we have 600 videos on basically how to do everything, and a guide on which ones to go through in what order, and what books to read, and what other audios to get, and what other videos to watch. If I never met somebody, they would already be winning. Then, of course, we have Zoom calls with me directly and everybody. Then we have private coaching calls with me directly. I've got many clients I've never met. You know, they're collecting $100,000 a month. I've never met them. Okay. But of course, in addition to that, we have our typical 5 seminars a year. Those are your typical hotel fun seminars, one day, Saturday. And then we have workshops that we have in my own office. Workshops in my own living, working office, the real thing. Then we also have the DC boot camps, and we have the CA boot camps. So we have a variety of events. We have all of our videos. I have 33 audio sets, plus we have our books, everybody I bring with me, and all of our resources. So when someone's a member, okay, there's all these different angles, because I've got to use every media I can to get you to become successful. There's people I haven't seen at a seminar ever, and there's people that every time I turn around, it seems like I'm bumping into them. And you can both be very successful because I've got the way to deliver the material to you.
Okay, there you go. I just found your number. 952-943-2442. If somebody wants to call.
Sure. They've got my direct email. You can just ask me any questions directly. My accessibility is the key here. The guy, so to speak, not some assistant or whoever. You get the guy directly. Okay. And my intention is for you to be the most successful, most generous, most credible, highest integrity chiropractor who ever lived in your area. We're out for complete domination. We call it the Doberman philosophy once again. And so we want to try to have everything we can in place to help you toward that goal.
Excellent. Thank you, Dr. Robeson.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I think we've gone a little bit over our allotted time, but that's okay. A lot of people have hung in there, so I want to thank everybody for listening to this presentation. I hope you learned a lot from me. I hope you picked up a couple of pearls from Dr. Robeson. Here's my contact information, my email. You could email me directly, drkotler@targetcoding.com. There's my website, targetcoding.com, telephone number. We have a HIPAA secure fax number. Let's say you go, Marty, I want to send you a claim. I want to send you an EOB on a patient. I want to send you a SOAP note. I want to get together with you for 15 minutes. Can you review one of my Medicare SOAP notes? Fine, upload it to our HIPAA secure fax number, or if you want to email it, you'll upload it to our HIPAA secure portal for email items. So we're on all social media platforms. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We offer a lot of specials on Instagram. You can go to our YouTube channel. By the way, I want to show everybody our YouTube channel. We have a lot of videos. These are all free videos on YouTube. Subscribe to the Target Coding YouTube channel, and then when we upload, like I'm probably going to upload this presentation to the YouTube channel for those of you that maybe couldn't listen to the whole thing, or you listened to it and went, wow, I want my staff or my associate doctors to listen to this. So give it a couple of days, assuming the audio came out and everything was clear. This is going to be uploaded to the Target Coding YouTube channel. So again, I want to thank everybody for attending. I hope you learned a lot. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.